The iPhone 15 Pro Max after, we'll call it 2 weeks, but it's almost 3 weeks at this point, and I've gotten all the updates on it. I never really had the overheating issue in the first place, but that's not to say other people weren't, especially since Apple came out and said, hey, we understand that there are some apps, rogue apps running away with the overheating and causing some issues for some users. So the update pretty much has quieted that down. I'm not seeing that as much on the internet as I was previously, so that's good. Apple getting out in front of something, recognizing there's an issue, coming up with a solution, and pushing an update. That's exactly what you want. Everybody says that, well, every phone's going to have bugs, and that's true. Every software is going to have hiccups here and there, and that's true. But what's been missing from some of these companies, Apple in particular, Google's another one, is acknowledging it quickly, getting a fix out, and then making sure it works properly. So far, so good on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And as it is with Apple almost every year, no one's saying that you should upgrade from your iPhone 14 Pro Max to a 15 Pro Max. That's just silly. Same thing, 13 Pro Max is borderline to a 15 Pro Max. It depends. Are you making payments? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Do you want to update? Do you want to retain value somehow in your 13 Pro Max by trading it in a little early? Whatever that. Those are financial considerations. To me, it's if you have a 12 Pro Max, a 12 Pro, something like that, can you feel comfortable and confident that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is a phone that you should be going to? You heard maybe some of the issues of iOS 16. You heard some of the headaches that people were having with the iPhone 14 Pro, whether it be battery life or a couple hiccups here and there. Should you feel confident upgrading your perfectly fine working 12 Pro Max to a 15 Pro Max? And I think that answer is yes. I think you can absolutely feel good about this update, since it is, I think, the best update in years and the most complete, solid iPhone that we've had for some time, with the marriage of really good hardware, the lightness of the titanium and all the rest of it, and the excellent battery life that we've come used to on the Pro Max the past few years, with a finally really nice software experience for the first time in a couple years that's relatively clean, smooth, and bug-free. So I like that package, and combined, it gets me to feeling the best I felt about iPhones in the last couple of years. If you are looking to upgrade, if you are looking to switch carriers as well, save a little money on your mobile service, click the link in the description. Mint Mobile is running a lot of great deals. You could get service, a year of service, plus this phone, and you make it for like $108 a month. As little as $108 a month, you could do that whole thing. And you own the phone after a year. Those payments are for a year. They're not 2 years, 3 years, any of that stuff. You could really get some great service rolled into it, make payments. I forget the exact whatever, but it's not that 3-year lockdown that you get. So go ahead, click that link in the description, switch over. It does help the channel. So let's talk about some things that you are going to notice with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Some of the things that I really have enjoyed. Number one is the battery life. The Pro Max battery is absolutely back. I have not had the overheating. Charging's been okay, but I'm talking 9 hours of screen on time. And that's just, these are kind of mind-boggling figures, and not a lazy 9 hours of screen on time. Not a, I'm scrolling Twitter 9 hours of screen on time, or I'm just a few Instagram posts, 9 hours of screen on time. We're talking heavy Waze usage, turn-by-turn navigation, video, TikTok, whatever it happens to be on this phone, and it lasts the entire day and then some without issue. Not a lot of battery drain. This phone here came off the charger at 9:30 this morning. It's about just after 4 p.m. here. 90% still left. I'm getting through days with moderate usage. All right, not the days where I'm using 9 hours of screen on time. Days where I'm using 4, where I'm using 5, where it's mixed use, where it's text, it's phone, it's all that stuff. And we're talking 70% battery life, 75% battery life, to where I can go a full 2 days, not even think about plugging this phone in, and not having an issue with it. That's just a peace of mind that you like. If it's possible, go ahead and have that. Because if there's ever a reason why something happens, there's an emergency, you have to run out, you're away, you don't want it, you forget your charger, you don't have to sweat about your phone running out when you need it, when you could go that extra day or two with this device if you're sparing. You put it in battery saver, you could probably get even more than that. So I'm really impressed. Brightness, panel, always fantastic on an iPhone. No exception here. I like this a little bit lighter with the titanium. I understand it's not, all the rest of it, a little more fragile. people are asking me, I got so many comments saying, because of the last video, I said, well, just don't bend it a certain way and all the rest of it. If I were running a case on it, yes, of course. I always run a case on my iPhone. It is the Spigen case that I did the review on, the Spigen C1 Classic or whatever it is, the one that looks like the iMac. I am running a case on it. I always do that with my iPhones. For whatever reason, I'm a little clumsier with my iPhones than I am other phones. I'm currently running the Pixel 8 Pro without a case because it feels that good in the hand. I don't want to. I don't get that so much with the iPhone. It's not a phone that really feels amazing for whatever reason. That's personal preference. Maybe it's the squared off, whatever. I never feel like I want to run my iPhone caseless because it's just that great of a design. Maybe because it's old at this point. We've seen the design already, and the Pixel 8 Pro is new, but I'm not getting that same feeling, so I wind up putting a case on my iPhone most times. The one thing that I do want to go over, I'll start showing these photos now. Excellent camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Definitely improved over the iPhone 14 Pro. You could see it in the brightness, in the detail. We went apple picking. Look at these photos. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous color. It pops, the clarity. Just a great looking photo. And that's what you're getting every time point and shoot with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And like I said in the other video, something with the AI where it this year it brightens it automatically. Whatever it is with the computational stuff, I like what they do to pretty up the photos and make them vibrant this year. It's not necessarily oversaturating the color. It's just taking the color that's there and adding light to it to make it good without washing it out. Which is terribly, terribly important. So I love what I see out of the iPhone 15 Pro Max camera. You can see the zoom here a little bit. My wife and I bought a house recently. This is the cat that comes with the house. Apparently in the part of Jersey that we're moving to, houses just come with cats that are outside. This is Mowgli, so everyone will say hi to Mowgli. But you can see kind of the zoom. That's a far zoom. I think it's at least 10x, maybe 12. And we still got a relatively nice image that you could see what's going on there. This is another one that I took for my watch channel, just kind of a thumbnail that you could see good detail and contrast there. So I'm really loving the camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So if you're somebody who's in the Apple ecosystem, you really don't want to go to the Android side, Pixel doesn't interest you, but a lot of people tell me, it's something that I've taken a while to get my head wrapped around this, that the main buying focus for people is the camera. I mean, you're using it, maybe some people use it 10% of the time, 5% of the time. To me, it falls far down the list. But if you're somebody who's way at the top with the camera, I need a good camera, regardless of what it is, then the iPhone 15 Pro Max is definitely the one that you're going to want to look at because of the way it handles the photos. Out of all the smartphones I've used this year so far, I like the way that the Apple computational photography tunes up the photos because it does it in a natural way. It looks like it took it from kind of a natural take your chance out in nature lighting to studio lighting on these photos without doing anything wonky that makes the photo look awkward like washing it out. To me, that's really impressive. So if you're looking at that, those are things you're going to want to consider, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max does it better than anybody else so far, in my opinion, this year. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that delicious day.